Up next, I am pleased to introduce to you Asif Valley. Asif, we look forward to hearing about transformation in the agriculture sector.
A growing population has created the demand for food security in the world today and in South Africa. The need for food security has become overwhelming over the coming years, and by 2050, the demand really accelerates. Technology is one of those things that potentially could help create and alleviate some of the problems when it comes to food security. I think that when I look at how it impacts the world and how it impacts the lives of people, I think that we are today all part of this problem and we need to find solutions together. I'm personally very invested in the whole approach to solving food security as we go through the next couple of years. My name is Asif Valley. I'm the National Technology Officer here at Microsoft. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the Microsoft FarmBeats platform. Microsoft has developed a platform to really address some of the key challenges that are in the world today around food security. With limited arable land and water to feed the world and the population today, the only way to find alternative solutions is through the use of artificial intelligence. This is one of the ways that we believe we can assist in helping solve some of the world challenges when it comes to food security and the future of people and future of humanity. The importance of food security as we look through to the next couple of years is really depicted by these three areas around global access, sustainable production, and the need for economic growth. And each one of these areas leads to a number of challenges. With 1 in 9 people today within the poverty line, or 1 in 9 people really unable to actually feed themselves and are undernourished, presents a huge challenge for the world today as we see it. This is why Microsoft has invested 40 million rand over the next couple of years to help assist in this area of development. And we're looking for ideas and people solutions to bring forward so that we can start to apply those as we go through the next couple of years in addressing the challenges. I want to show you a quick video that really depicts what I'm going to be sharing with you over the next couple of minutes, which really encapsulates well the solutions that Microsoft is working on and how the FarmBeats solution really integrates with society as well as addresses the key challenges and problems.
More than 3/4 of the poor people in the world are farmers. They're faced with a very tough problem. They have to grow enough food to feed their family every year. When you think of digital technology, you don't think of measuring soil moisture. You don't think about helping people know when to plant or understand what's going wrong on their farm. But if we can make these sensors small enough, cheap enough, then the chance to get this down to more and more farmers, get them additional productivity, it's pretty exciting.
We're taking this data and we built machine learning and AI models to do two things. One is virtual sensor prediction. So we're predicting things like leaf wetness, evapotranspiration, and solar radiation. We use the data to customize the model for the farm, and we are getting very accurate results for each one of those.
These sensors use a new type of connectivity that's very inexpensive. It's called TV white spaces. TV white space is unused bandwidth in between the TV broadcast channels. Governments are now allowing this bandwidth to be used to transmit data. In this case, it's the data coming from the field that goes back to the computers that helps create the best advice to the farmer.
What you're seeing here is a TV white spaces router. This is like your Wi-Fi antenna at home, powering all of this through solar panels. You just power this on and you get Wi-Fi on demand in the farm. We use it to send drone imagery. Once the flight is complete, it will start transmitting the data over the white spaces to do precision map generation.
Whoa.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm bringing it back.
Cutting the leaves. Any data you can get to farmers can make a huge difference. The weather is always highly variable. Deciding should they invest in fertilizer, when do they plant, understanding which crop would be the right one at this time. Even 20% more productivity means that they can afford school fees, save a little bit for a tough year. Climate change is going to make the farmer's job a lot harder, and just closing that yield gap, even a modest amount, would make a huge difference for all those farmers.
What we mean by data-driven agriculture or precision agriculture is really looking at the three areas around improving yield, reducing the risk of costs, and ensuring sustainability are three of the most top of mind areas when we talk about data-driven agriculture or precision agriculture. What we mean by data-driven agriculture or precision agriculture is really about trying to understand where to place sensors and where in the soil is the most optimal way to plant and what is the resources required to really farm. Some of these areas, if you look as an example, what is 6 inches or what's this moisture level 6 inches below the soil, or the water levels, these are some of the things that precision agriculture assists and helps you drive with going forward to make farming more affordable. This is one of the areas that we look at when we look at precision agriculture. Precision agriculture as a technique was already discovered around the 80s. It's taken nearly 30 years for this technology to really take off, and one of the issues that have prohibited it was the cost of the technology needed to actually drive it. So when we talk about amplifying human ingenuity, it's really about amplifying human ingenuity through the use of technology to really assist the farmer in their capability to be able to enhance what they know about the technology that they're using today already. Transformation of farming is really through these three areas: connected farms, the ability to be able to connect sensors, to be able to understand and monitor your farming. Secondly, AI-based advisory, the use of technology to really enable the capabilities around farming. And then next, around precision farming, the use again of sensors, drones, and cameras to be able to really understand when you need to be doing what. And then lastly, traceability, the use of blockchain as a technology to be able to farm smarter and to be able to manage a supply chain through the next evolution of how you develop your business. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, the cost of manual data is really what is prohibiting farmers today from using technologies like precision agriculture. And some of the reasons for this year is the cost of sensors has been around $8,000 for the case of about 5 sensors. Our objective as Microsoft through the FarmBeats platform is to help reduce some of that cost down to almost from $8,000 to $80. So let's really do a deep dive now into each of these areas around costs of sensors and devices, the connectivity required in order to make a farm operational, and then obviously more important, the complexity of the technology and trying to simplify. Not everyone is a data scientist today, so how do we really bring that capability to every farmer out there? So what we need is really an end-to-end approach to this problem, or end-to-end approach to the solution, where the data collections and insights for agriculture is really made available to them in an easy and more automated way. So to solve this problem, we really need to look at all 4 areas. So we need to look at the farms having no connectivity today as the first one. And solving this challenge requires a little bit of thought and care, because this is probably the biggest inhibitor in enabling a farmer today to use the technology available today. So when we look at what we're doing as Microsoft around TV whitespace, TV whitespace gives us the ability to insert Wi-Fi signals into the whitespace channels in order to ensure that the transmission happens. So this is between the different devices on the farm, so whether it's a sensor such as soil sensor or moisture sensor, or cameras or drones, the ability to bring that information into the farmhouse is one of the big issues that farmers have today. TV whitespace really enables that capability and brings that quicker to the farmhouse and helps it to be able to process the data now. Without TV whitespace, this was a limited capability that farmers had today. Secondly, when you look at the ability for the farmer now to get that information into the cloud to be able to process the data is the second issue. Today, operators or mobile operators or telecommunications operators are looking to use TV whitespace to do that last mile connectivity between the farmhouse and the telecommunications operator. And this is another very powerful way and one way of reducing costs of farmers to be able to give them access still to what they need as part of the farm. Secondly is the precision mapping piece. And this obviously, once they have the connectivity and they're able to do that, is really being able to now create the kind of environment that they're able to start to assess the land that they're working on. Precision agriculture is one of those ways that the development of precision maps really enables precision agriculture at scale to happen. This is one of the ways that Microsoft is helping democratize AI for farmers. So one of the ways, if you look at this chart, it gives you clear ideas of where the precision map is being able to create from looking at the moisture levels or the pH levels, which gives you a clear idea of where watering needs to take place on the farm or where further fertilization needs to happen on the farm. And this really helps use the resources that is available to the farmer more effectively and more economically. In this slide, you'll be able to see exactly how we use precision agriculture right out of the box to be able to map your farm so that you can understand more effectively where to place the sensors so that it's more optimal, so that this optimal placing of it actually relates or leads to a bigger cost saving for yourself as a farmer. And this is one of the ways that makes a very powerful proposition with the use of the platform. The platform's mapping using satellite data is able to provide you with that capability of placing it more optimally across the farm. The next slide really provides you with a good view of AI in action. So throughout these slides, you can see the use of the mapping and the optimal placement of sensors and devices. We'll also be able to provide you with a good view of how, when we look at drone data, how we're able to stitch together the mapping of the farm, and then obviously the different levels from moisture levels to pH levels, and how that brings together all the different parts of the farm. This view really brings together that kind of almost takeaway for you today is that mapping the farm, looking at the areas where water is required most, where moisture levels are the highest, and also helping you identify the areas that you want to focus on over time. So it's about accuracy of data that really gives you the ability to be more precise. The next area is slow connectivity within the farm. So once a farmer has still some capability to provide connectivity on the farm, the issue is how do they get that information on a scalable basis, on an ongoing basis, to be able to process the information live and as they need it. And this is where Microsoft has developed the Azure IoT Gateway. The IoT Edge Gateway device is really there to provide the machine learning in the box. So where the device gets placed within the farmer house, the farmer is able to now use and access that information to be able to process the information in order to be able to get the results that they need. So we ship the farmer with the Azure IoT Edge device, which runs on Windows 10 and sits within the farmhouse. So how does it work? It really takes data from all the sensors, drones, and other camera information and uses that to do the computer vision and panorama generation. It then does also the machine learning and builds the heat maps for the farmer. And when we look at all of these services on the right of this chart, you're able to see some of the things that we're able to produce. The most important thing is that this device can run up to 7 days offline and still be able to provide all of the information that the farmhouse or the farmer needs within his environment. The Edge device all runs in Docker containers, so it makes for easy accessible when needed. So when you look at how does Microsoft bring that together, basically if you look at this chart, we bring together the whole ecosystem. So we bring together drone data, satellite data, weather data, all of that into the FarmBeats platform. And that really helps the aggregation to take place in the center. We then bring together the Microsoft capabilities around machine learning, as well as all of our partner capabilities that we bring into that, what we call ISVs, independent software vendors. They're able to provide information into the platform, which then provides the aggregation and the services and the processing and the data science really taking place in the platform to be able to give you the end results around the most optimal way to manage your environment, whether you're farming with animals or farming with agriculture. It's able to provide you with that. But keeping that in mind, obviously we do not solve all of the challenges that farmers have. One of the big issues is really depicted in the next chart. The next chart is really about some of the innovations that's taking place today within agriculture. So one of the big issues with satellite information is the ability to see below the clouds. And that almost discards around 77% of all satellite images that happen today. In order to be able to provide that capability, Microsoft looked at a project called Space Eye, which is really seeing through the clouds. So we bring together satellite data, radar data, and we're able to produce multi-band spectrum, not just red, green, and blue type images, but we're able to provide the full spectrum looking beneath the clouds. In this video, you will see the Port of Seattle. So where you're not only able to see the farms around there, but you're actually able to see the ships moving or what ships are located at which point in time with this kind of technology. So the Space Eye project really helps you truly see through the clouds, which makes almost about 85% of the images now usable, as opposed to previously where you discarded almost 77% of the images. Here you'll see a farm of 2,000 acres where we're able to use a drone to be able to gather information, and here the farmer is able to analyze a lot of the information that he's getting back from it in terms of the risks to his animals, in this case, where they spend most of their time. So this helps them to obviously aggregate, use the total of the information to be able to start to move the animals around to the most optimal places to farm, as one case in point. In this video, we've put a number of hidden cameras in the barnyard, and this was to detect the anomalies of cows and in their behavior. So through this little video, you'll start to see the kind of behavior that you're looking for, and then start to be able to analyze how best to do that. Gaudi is an ISV solution, Habana Gaudi, which delivers processing power to provide AI across the fields of farms, is one of the ways that they're able to produce insights around the different plant growth stages, around what is most optimal ways of farming, as well as any abnormalities in the species that are growing on the farm. And that's one of the ways that ISVs or partners are bringing capability to the FarmBeats platform. So to summarize, really, Microsoft is committed to accelerating data-driven agriculture through precision agriculture, through differentiated technology, actionable data, and a partner ecosystem that helps us be able to reach globally customers and bring that experience to local. And that is, I think, the power of the partnership that we are offering from Microsoft. Microsoft's mission is really to empower every person, every organization on the planet to achieve more. And we do that here through the Azure FarmBeats platform. It's a proposition really to build a digital agricultural solution without the need to invest in deep data capabilities and deep data engineering resources for people. So the ability to really democratize AI at scale. Acquire, aggregate, and process agricultural data from various sources such as sensors, cameras, drones, and other devices that are used on the farm. So really, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention to this topic, and look forward to working with you as we go into the future. Thank you.